Hello everybody and welcome back to our Oasis.
The Entertainment Oasis.
Got enough snaps for you? Yeah? You good?
I feel like I needed one more. Hey, that's the one.
Right.
That's the one.
So, are you guys still in quarantine?
Top 5.
Are you getting bored?
Top 5.
Like we are?
Top 5. Top 5.
Fine, yes, top 5. Gosh. Anyway, we want to help you out. So, as you may already know, we
Top 5.
We like watching anime sometimes.
Top 5. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you want to?
Top 5 animes. Go.
Did you want to go ahead?
Yeah. Top 5 animes. Go. Wait.
Oh, wait. I'm waiting. Go ahead and start. Jeez, you're like ruining everything.
Yeah, clearly. Anyways, as before Nathan interrupted,
Oh,
so today we have a special video for you guys. We want to share with you our top 5 animes that we think you could benefit from watching,
yes,
or that you might like. Some of these
top 5.
Okay, I see what.
Yeah.
Except
Except I only said it like
top 5
once. Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But in all seriousness, though, we're hoping that your quarantine's going good, and with these, we're hoping that they can kind of bring some light into your life.
Yeah. Some of them won't. I can assure you that. They will not. You bastard. But yeah, no, I feel like right now everyone's at home, or at least
top 5.
We would hope they're at home. So we thought, like, why not share some of the stuff that we like to watch? Well, we're just stuck at home doing nothing because Rona. So, do you want to start it off, or should I?
I'll start it off. So, it's going to be 2 and 2, and then we're gonna go on one that we both agree on, right? So my first one.
Wait, I gotta set you up.
My first one is called Grand Blue. Yeah.
I feel like we hear like confetti
going off, streamers.
That's a good one though. It's a funny one.
So, as far as I know, Grand Blue is only streaming on Amazon at the moment, and I'm not sure if maybe other sites like Crunchyroll or something like those other anime sites have gotten their hands on it. But that's where I've seen it, which is on Amazon Prime, and it is. God, it's hilarious. I showed it to him. He loved it. So just a quick summary on Grand Blue. It's an anime that technically revolves around the sport of diving, which is getting your scuba gear on and, with oxygen tank and diving into the ocean to explore. But it's, in my opinion, it's cleverly disguised as an anime about diving, about scuba diving. In reality, though, it revolves around a college club that it focuses on diving, but really it involves like the whole college culture around drinking and just getting into all sorts of like shenanigans. Like it is ridiculous on how little the sport of diving is actually showed. I don't want to reveal too much about it, but it's really funny. I love the way their facial expressions are drawn in a lot of scenes. I love the characters. Like the characters are very, very quirky, very memorable, and it's an overall, like, I guess, an anime that you can just get a lot of good laughs and chuckles out of. Definitely, it definitely does have its adult moments and humor.
Yeah,
I would say it's one that's not really safe for work. But if you're into like comedy animes and you're looking for one, if you're looking for like a more new one, I think it came out in 2018. Only one season, very sad, but it's 12 episodes and it's still a lot of fun, and I do still highly recommend it.
It was pretty funny.
So, what you got? Top 5.
Number 4. Number 4 is Gantz.
Oh,
Gantz. Now, this one...
Oldie but a goodie.
Oldie but a goodie. Don't watch it around kids. Not appropriate for kids.
Definitely not.
Don't watch it around your parents, because
nope,
they'll kick you out.
Yeah.
It's very
Something about Grand Blue, now that I think about it.
Grand Blue is like very tame.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but still not probably appropriate for kids or parents. Yeah.
This one, it's very dark. It's very gory. It's like
It's got its moments.
it's got gore.
It's got its gory moments.
I mean, I'm not a fan of animes that have a lot of like fan service or sexually explicit content, but this one, I feel like I overlook it because I just love the story so much. But yeah, it's a very dark anime, very violent, very sexual in most cases. But essentially, it revolves around this group of people who end up dying, and instead of dying, they end up in this room where they can overlook the Tokyo Tower. And in this room, there's like a black ball that they call Gantz. And what it does is it provides them with weapons. It provides them with like a suit, like a power suit, I guess. And then it sends them off into the streets in the middle of the night to hunt down aliens. If you die in the game, there's no coming back for you. Once they finish the objective or the mission, they get those who are still alive get sent back to the apartment, and then they can go home until Gantz calls them back for their next mission. And at the end of each mission, you get points. And so once you get to a certain number of points, you get you get 3 different options you can choose from to spend your points on. I'm not gonna explain why, or what they are, I should say. But it is like the fight scenes or the action scenes are just so intense, and the stories that they tell you. I mean, it's not just. It doesn't feel like it's just a bloodbath, because you kind of grow attached to some of these characters, and sometimes things don't go well, and it hurts you, and you're just like, oh god. The anime was like about 27 episodes, 26 episodes,
something like that. The manga goes on much longer.
Yeah, the manga. I kept on with the manga after the anime ended, and I loved it even more. There's like.
That's usually always the case.
Yeah, there's bigger and badder missions that you're just like, oh my god, and you get like a fresh crop of characters that show up or that are now part of the game. But it's just great. They have a movie on Netflix, which it's based off of my favorite arc of the manga, which is the Osaka arc. So instead of going to their normal city, they get sent to Osaka to help the Osaka team with their infestation of like the city's just overrun, and it's just craziness. I mean, the movie on Netflix was good, but they left out a lot of good stuff from the manga. But I definitely suggest you guys check this out.
There's also a live action movie, but
don't watch it. Don't watch it.
We recommend to stay away from that one.
Yeah, it's.
I actually went to see it in theaters.
We both did.
Oh yeah, we did. And
yeah, disappointment.
Yeah, it didn't do it justice at all.
No.
But definitely watch the one that's on Netflix.
Yeah, that one was good. Watch the anime. Just don't take the last arc in the anime seriously, because that's not part of the manga. That was just like a filler arc to end the anime. It was trash, but the missions before that were
legit.
Were grade A. So, what is your number 3?
All right. So my number 3 is. Oh.
Yeah, I was hoping to hear like a bing, but no, it didn't work out. Number 3.
So number 3 is called Grimgar, and it had a subtitle too, something in Ashes, Worlds in. I forgot.
Oh, Grimgar, Ashes of number 5. No.
Sure, yeah. Anyway, but it's just type in Grimgar and it'll come up. It's pretty much one of those animes where characters find themselves in a fantasy world and they kind of have to adapt to it. We've seen like this story kind of recycled. We've seen them played out in other animes, and some of them are either just a random fantasy world. Some of them are video games. We've seen these premises in different animes. But in my opinion, this one is one of the best to ever do it. And it also tackles the more real and realistic aspects. Like if you were to find yourself in the situation, I think this one captures it the closest.
Is it
I
like on
would
the
say.
streaming service right now?
Ooh, I saw it. I saw it some time ago, a couple of years back, and I want to say I saw it like on a site, maybe something like Crunchyroll. I want to say it is. I want to say that it is on a streaming service right now. In fact, let me find out. Okay, so I found out that it was on Hulu.
Ah,
Yeah, it's on Hulu, and
everybody got Hulu now.
and it also said Prime Video too. But sometimes when you do have a Prime membership, depending
one
on
season will be available and the other one you got.
yeah, the other one you'll pay for. So I don't want to say, oh, it's on Prime Video, go check it out, and then all of a sudden you have to like pay $2 or $3 for it. But anyway, it did say it was on Hulu though. If you have that, it'll probably be on like some other like random anime websites. But yeah, so kind of already. I mean, the premise is probably unspoken, but I'll go a little bit more into depth.
Yeah.
They find themselves in a fantasy world, and it's not just like you find yourself with 7 people and it's about those 7 people. It's actually a group of like, I want to say like around 30 to 40 people.
Oh damn.
And they kind of get like a brief rundown of what's going on, but they don't remember anything about their past lives. It's been a while since I've watched it, so I might get like a smidge of information wrong. But I think the most interesting part is within those 40 people, I want to say like people who seemed very strong eventually formed their own parties, and then a group of like, I want to say 6 people or 7 people got left out completely. Nobody selected them, and those leftovers formed a party.
Ah, okay.
And that's what the story focuses on. And it's, even though they were like, I guess kind of like rejects, they're trying to make it work the best they can. And like I said, it goes into like, I feel like a more realistic aspect of, damn, what would you do if you found yourself in that situation and everybody else kind of like shunned you, basically. Like if you were like a kid who was getting selected for a sport and nobody selected you, you know, that's what these people formed a party as. And yeah, so it's they each assume a role, and of course I don't want to go too much into detail, but they basically start their journey in this fantasy world as being leftovers, and it's a really, really interesting journey. I strongly recommend it. I think right now there's about 2 seasons.
That's not bad.
2 seasons. There could be a third. Again, I haven't seen it. I watched it a couple of years ago, and I haven't like kept up with it. Like maybe there's a new season that's come out for it, and I don't even know about it. So, but yes, I strongly recommend it if you get the time.
Well, I guess in this case, number 2 would have to be Full Metal Panic. Not to get it confused with Full Metal Alchemist.
Or Full Metal Jacket, even though it's not an anime.
But Full Metal Panic is all sorts of crazy. It's 4 seasons so far. Season 1 is a mixture of action and comedy. Season 2 is straight comedy, and season 3 and 4 are pure drama action. Like those two, the last 2 seasons are very, very story driven, like much more than the other 2 seasons, and they're just very more what's that word? Serious. Mm-hmm. They're much more serious in tone than the previous than season 1 and 2. Essentially, what Full Metal Panic is there's this kid who grew up knowing nothing but war. He was a child mercenary. He joins an elite group of mercenaries, and one of his assignments eventually ends up being to protect this girl, Kaname Chidori. So Sosuke Sagara, the mercenary, who's like, I think at this point 17, 16, knowing nothing but a life of a war, he ends up having to try to adopt the life of a normal Japanese student. So they enroll him in school, and he has to like protect the target and it's just constant shenanigans. Like in season 1, it's just about like him trying to make sure his cover's not blown, and at the same time trying to keep the target safe, and they're always butting heads because everything he does is just so awkward. He's socially awkward.
He's treating everything as like a military assignment.
Yeah, like he has no chill. It's like it's strictly he's on, the whole time. It's like military. Like that's his mindset. Just okay, this is the mission, military. Blah 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 blah.
He pulls weapons out of nowhere.
Yeah, it just goes crazy. And season 2 is just about like his day-to-day life with Kaname in school and him still more or less trying to get the ropes of like being a regular civilian in high school. But a lot of shenanigans, especially the last episode with the with the virus that gets on.
Oh gosh.
And then the hot springs episode.
The one where they're getting attacked by the janitor with the chainsaw.
Oh yeah.
I love that. That's my favorite episode.
Season 3 and 4. That's where the story from season 1 just kicks into high gear. It's like the next chapter in that story, but it just goes off the deep end and there's no more laughs in it. It's just straight seriousness, straight drama. Yeah,
quite honestly, I can't remember if I even got that far. Like when I think of Full Metal Panic, all I think about is the comedy.
Yeah.
All I think about is the comedy parts. Like I don't remember too much of the serious stuff. So
the good thing is that it retains what you love about the characters in the more serious 2 seasons, but it never feels like they've completely changed. They still have the same personalities as the 2 heavily comedy influenced seasons, but it's just in a better story, and just the way they tell it, they never lose sight of who these characters are, which is why I thoroughly enjoyed season 3 and 4. I hope there's a season 5, but we'll see.
Yeah,
definitely watch it.
Yeah. It's funny.
I think it's on Funimation, so if you have Funimation, check it out. You should be watching. You should be watching. Anyways, number 1. Let's talk about numero uno.
Let's talk about number 1, the one that we both very much agree on, and that is The Disastrous Life of Saiki K. So I had seen this anime, I want to say about a year ago, and one day when we were scrolling through, I think, was it Netflix? Netflix, and we were trying to figure out what to watch, and I come across Saiki, and I'm like, you have seen this, right? And he goes, no, and I'm like, okay, well, it's happening. And
I mean, he explained it, and I was kind of skeptical. I'm like,
that sounds kind of lame, and yeah.
And sure enough, the first episode I was like, second episode I was like, oh my god. The third episode I was already hooked. I'm like,
super
oh
hooked
my god.
It, yes.
Although season 1 is dubbed.
Yes.
Which that I watched it and I thought the voices were perfect. It's really rare when you find an anime where you love every single voice.
Definitely, yes,
in
absolutely.
English. That's why I normally watch them as subbed. So in Japanese voices. But this one, I loved each and every voice actor for that. I was just like, this is so good. And
there are a few animes out there to where the English voice acting is just on point. Like another one being is Cowboy Bebop. Always. I think that was one of the best dubbed animes of all time. But anyway, so what Saiki K is about, it's about a high school kid. I think he's 16 years old. He was born with outrageous psychic powers. Like he basically has everything, like super strength, telekinesis, telepathy,
clairvoyance.
He's got pyrokinesis. He's got he can fly. Well, obviously he can fly.
He can turn back time.
X-ray vision. Like he's basically got like everything that you can think of almost.
Mind control.
Yes, but it also goes into like how much of an inconvenience these powers are to him, and it's called The Disastrous Life of Saiki K because it basically centers around how nothing goes his way. He's trying to keep his powers a secret, and everything around him is basically going wrong, and he always references that God is out to get him, or like God is trying to purposely like mess with him, like in his life because he's got these powers, but it's never outright said that that's what's going on. But that's basically the premise. But the characters, like the ensemble of characters that surround him, they're very well done. Very well done. They each have like a very strong personality. They've got their quirks. Very memorable. Yeah. Very memorable characters, and it's just an overall treat. What's your input?
No, I mean, I feel the same way. The characters for me, Nendo, which is like the, I guess he calls himself his best friend.
Yeah,
he's like
the best friend.
He's like the goof. Like he's such a dummy, but yet like he has these moments with with one of the other characters. What's his name? Oh Jesus, it's already slipping my mind. The redhead.
Heido.
Heido. So Heido is a very.
Is it Heido or Heido with a D?
I think it's Heido.
Heido with a D. Yeah.
He's very sports oriented. He's always like very energetic. Like very positive. Like.
Yeah, he's the class rep. I want to say.
He's the class rep, and he's super good at sports.
Super energetic. He's basically an exemplary student.
Yeah.
Like very
over the top, overachieving, like good at sports. And Nendo, being the goof that he is, somehow he is able to keep up with him, like in terms of sports.
No, he's able to best him.
He's able to best him, and Heido's always like, oh my god, like he's my rival, and Nendo's never really.
He's oblivious to it.
He's oblivious to because he's not giving it his all. He's just like goofing around, and yet he's better than like the star athlete. And
Nendo is like a natural freakish athlete, and every time they reference him, they say he's got the strength of an ogre. I've got to watch out for him. Really good. You
have Teruhashi, who is kind of obsessed with the fact that Saiki never goes, oh my god, like, because in this anime, everyone loves Teruhashi.
Like, she's considered the perfect pretty girl.
So all the guys fawn over her, and they're willing to like do anything for her, and Saiki's the only one that's like, well, I mean, I don't pay attention, so that drives her even more crazy and makes her seek his attention.
Yes.
But she's the kind of girl, and he even references like she's blessed by she's loved by the gods because. No matter what he does to try to avoid her,
everything falls into place for her.
Everything falls into place for her to end up where she wants to be.
Yes.
It's even her when she's on screen, she has this golden aura
always
about her. Like
yes. And just in case you're wondering why he doesn't really care about her like everybody else, is because of his X-ray vision, he can't control it. All he sees in humans are skin and bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, and he can read minds, so he knows exactly what her motives are. So it kind of like.
She is very aware that she's good looking, and she's very conniving. She's very conniving. She thinks very highly of herself,
but she never lets it know.
She's extremely arrogant, but of course, obviously doesn't show it to everybody. Anyone. She's basically putting on an act. But those are just a few of the characters. There's also Kaido.
This is a delusional character who's stuck in like his dream world.
Yeah, he's basically, you know how like young kids, like they pretend to be superheroes and they make up stories. Well, this kid's in high school. He's 16 and he's doing that. Yeah, but he actually believes it, and he
calls himself the Black Wings. And if you listen to him, every time he says something like referencing his like Dark Reunion or his alter ego, there's always this like theme song that plays in the background, very very briefly. Yes. But it is good.
Judgment Knights of Thunder. Yes, I know. It's great. God. It's great. But anyway, we can go on and on honestly about this anime. It's
that's not even like that's only like a fraction of the characters.
Yeah, it's so funny. Definitely like it's one of those, like, I would probably say top 5 comedy animes.
Yeah.
Easily.
I was hesitant to watch season 2 because it wasn't dubbed. And I just, like, as I mentioned earlier, I love the voice actor. So when I was like, what? And I'm like, I don't want to watch this. So for a whole month, I refused. And I would rewatch episodes from season 1 until I was just like, okay, I'm just going to give it a try. And eventually, the Japanese voice actors, they grew on me. So... Now I'm watching the Japanese ones. The one I do hate though is the Netflix version of Saiki.
Yeah.
Was it Awaken? Saiki?
Awakening, yeah. They basically had a reboot. It's like a reboot, yet it's also / like season 4. Kind of strange.
I did not like the voice actors.
They reintroduced the characters and they kind of closed out the series. But yeah, some of the voice actors are different. The art style is a little bit different too.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting take. I'm not like, they only made it 6 episodes. I guess they wanted to conclude the anime, I suppose. But
yeah.
Anyway, again, definitely recommend it. It's really funny. If you don't want to experience his disappointment about the dub, maybe you should start it with the Japanese voices.
Yeah. You should.
There is one thing I have noticed though. When I first watched this anime, I watched it in I can't remember which anime, like, because there's like several anime sites that stream animes, but the subtitles in that I guess particular anime site was dubbed differently than what I saw in the dubbing for Netflix.
Interesting.
So just keep that in mind, that you might have a slightly different experience depending on where you watch it with the subtitles.
So let us know if you guys have watched Saiki. Who are your favorite characters other than Nendo and Teruhashi? Because we all know those are like
his favorite.
cream of the crop.
Yeah.
But no. Have you guys seen any of the animes we talked about? If so, did you like them? Do you think they were trash? Were they kind of like meh? Let us know. We're eager to talk with you guys about anime, and if you guys have suggestions for us,
that's true. Yes.
Put them in the comments. We're always down to watch new stuff because we're running out of stuff to watch, guys.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? If you, like you said, if you've already seen these animes, let us know what you thought. And if you've watched these animes after we suggested them to you, tell us what you thought.
Think? Yeah,
tell us what you thought. Who are your favorite characters? Your favorite moments? Let us know in the comments. We would love to.
And we will reply to you guys.
Yes.
So
eventually,
when
we have time.
But thank you guys for joining us tonight, and we hope that you come back. Oh, that was a good stretch. Back to the Oasis.
There we are.
Bye.
The entertainment Oasis, guys. Peace out.
Let's go get some ramen.
Hey, buddy. It's not a problem.